New concerns over ICE agents at FIFA World Cup matches. Immigrant soccer fans are being reminded of their legal rights and warned to remain vigilant. And in the days leading up to tomorrow's 14th anniversary of DACA, allowing immigrants brought to the U.S. as children to live and work here, a new threat of increased ICE enforcement in New York City.
You're going to see more ICE agents you ever seen in New York City, and it's coming. I just reviewed an operational plan. I'm not going to tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but it's coming.
These kinds of threats, as you've said, from Tom Homan and the federal administration, they're not new, and neither will our response be. We continue to be proud of being a sanctuary city. We continue to be ready to stand up for our immigrant neighbors, and we continue to be ready to use every single tool at our disposal. And I've said to the president directly that I believe that ICE raids are cruel and they do nothing to serve in the interests of public safety.
Let's bring in Andrea Flores, former Obama White House and Homeland Security official, now founder of Securing America's Promise. Andrea, I want to get to Dreamers and the anniversary that's coming up tomorrow. But first, thousands of people are heading to Times Square and other public spaces to watch World Cup matches. What do you think this heightened ICE enforcement is going to look like in New York City?
Well, now, ICE has, in the past, played roles in security for large gatherings and certain events. That is, in the past, normal. But under this administration's usage of ICE, people should be on heightened alert because even the mere presence of increased ICE officers who are trying to hit arrest quotas means that you could just be swept up in some pretty routine enforcement, racial profiling, a lot of the tactics we've seen elsewhere. So people should make sure to review their Know Your Rights materials and just be aware that ICE is not necessarily doing any sort of normal enforcement from the past.
What do you think Mayor Mamdani and New York's Governor Hochul could do to stop ICE swarms in the city?
Well, it's very difficult. I mean, we've seen this administration successfully swarm cities like Charlotte, North Carolina, Chicago, Los Angeles. And so you see how powerless some cities have been when thousands of agents have been quickly deployed. So what they can do, I think, is make sure their residents are prepared in the same way that a lot of those cities did, like make sure that immigrants are aware of heightened activity. I mean, you're going to see more systems like the whistle system where neighbors are warning each other. You'll likely see an increase in legal services being offered. Anything protective. But unfortunately, this administration has not respected any steps taken to cooperate or be even reasonably coordinating, right? Like they rejected those things in other cities. And it sounds like from Homan's statements that they may do something similar, which would be very dumb of them, just to be quite honest, right? New York will look a lot more like Minneapolis in terms of how the community will respond. They have been ready for a long time.
And we haven't seen surges like Minneapolis since what happened in Minnesota, since the killings of American citizens. But the administration, Tom Homan, the border czar, Secretary, Homeland Security Secretary, has made clear that they're going to continue with their aggressive immigration enforcement, continue with the deportation campaign, and caught up in that are Dreamers. We're about to hit the 14-year anniversary tomorrow of President Obama creating this protected status for DACA recipients, which protects them from detention and deportation. But now many are being caught up. And here's what Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia said just a few days ago about the Dreamer, the DACA anniversary. Take a listen.
For 14 years, Dreamers have been forced to live one renewal at a time. Most people do not wake up wondering if they'll be allowed to work tomorrow. Most people do not go to bed wondering if they will be able to legally drive their child to school the next morning. But that is the reality Dreamers are living with. And now President Trump is making that uncertainty even more unbearable, even more chaotic, and in some cases, cruel.
You worked in the Obama administration. Explain how much the DACA program has changed from when it was first created and the protections it promised to what the Trump administration has been able to do now during this second term.
I mean, I'll never forget, I was on the team that helped implement DACA and create it. And I remember the hope we felt that we were creating a model of legalization, right? We were going to show the country that if you allowed Dreamers to come forward and be vetted and pay a fee and get protection, that the United States would benefit from it. And this population has shown that case to be true, right? They have been successful. They have graduated from school. They are now well into their late 30s and 40s professionals in our communities. But what has happened to the DACA program since Trump's first term is that he did try and formally end the program. And it was like he touched a political hot stove. He realized if he did that, that was one of the more unpopular programs he could go after. But what he successfully did do was limit who could apply for DACA going forward, meaning now there are more dreamers who have never had access to DACA than there are people who've ever had DACA, right? So now it's a limited program that is maintaining protections for hundreds of thousands of people in our workforce, and he is still going after it, Laura. And I think what's so interesting about this term is that he's trying to do it quietly and behind the scenes, right? He secured a DOJ opinion that essentially said DACA was no longer an automatic protection from deportation. He is he's actually delaying the renewals of DACA applications, which is making people fall out of status. So it's death by 1,000 cuts for DACA recipients. But why is he doing that? So he doesn't touch that political hot stove again and actually get criticized for ending such a popular program. But I think he's succeeding in making sure that DACA recipients are more vulnerable than ever at the 14-year anniversary. And I will say this should be a moment in a midterm year where Democrats come out strong again about legalization.
Right. He's deported some dreamers with active DACA status, all in an attempt to reach those deportation numbers that the administration is trying to hit. And some of those dreamers have been forced to come back. But Andrea Flores, thank you so much for your time.